Nachos, mi amigos. It is finally Friday. I know you're just as excited as I am to get to Friday, because that means tomorrow is Saturday. And while there is no American football this weekend, any American football worth watching this weekend, we are one mere week away from the Super Bowl. And you know that's a good time, especially when we do a little bit of live to air from Casa de Doug. Tequila fueled and excited to do the Super Bowl squares. I have the Super Bowl squares figured out, as I said I would. I also have a list of all of the animals I have ever ate. It's not a complete list, but it's all I could remember at the time. And spoilers, it's about 58 different species of animal. So we will jump into that. What's going on, T-Bone? We'll jump into that a little bit later. I debated it on putting human on the list because I have bit chunks of my cheek off and swallowed it on accident before while eating, but I don't think that counts, even though I guess technically it does, but it's a little too morbid to put human on the list. There were some things that surprised me on this list that I didn't realize I had consumed. What up, KP? How you doing, buddy? But I was going through some of the notes I took and pictures of the different jerkies and things that I've eaten, and yeah, some interesting animals. Thanks, Scuba! How are you? So for those who don't know, Scuba spent the day watching people install a fence at his house. Card slaps! It's like, jerky, hey. I love me some jerky. I've truthfully a small portion of the more exotic animals I've eaten was in jerky form, and almost all of them were disappointing. I would love to tear into non-jerkified endangered species as opposed to jerkified ones. But I mean, I will have to leave the United States in order to partake in that. I want to say that the list I've come up with is based mostly on what I know for sure and a couple of items that are assumed based on circumstance. Which I will address those.
Welcome to my underground lair. You're just in time. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, Carlos? You, sir, have subbed for 2 years. My God, man, that's a long time, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, thank you. What up, Prue? Oh, thank you, buddy. DCD Collects is on their affiliate anniversaire. Bon anniversaire. Which is happy birthday in French. And nope, that's not my French accent. That is my make-believe French accent. My real French accent's really good because, you know, I speak French. But yeah, it was interesting. Some of these things I had to look up because I knew the Japanese names but didn't know the English names for some of these animals. Other ones I had to look at what they were. I knew their international names but did not know their American names, so those are there. Yes, T-Bone, there is a There Will Be Blood. It is for $99.74. Oh yeah, it's we got that last week from Kate. Kate made that one. So we do have a There Will Be Blood emote, and that's always fun. What up, Blind Cat? How are you doing, man? Blind Cat, I want you to know I was thinking about you today. I was. When I was doing the Super Bowl squares, I remember yesterday I was talking about Super Bowl squares, and Kate was like, "Oh, I don't know what they are, but I want one." Oh, thanks, Carlos. And I thought she's, recovering from being sick, still technically sick, but she's recovering from a very, intense and traumatic time in her life. And she has gone through it with gusto and flair and stubbornness that I have come to know that is the Kate Crawford brand. So the only thing I could do is definitely uh give in and give a Super Bowl square to you and not her, because that's that's who I am. Blind Cat, we know who the real worker is, and we know that's you. You're the one that has to cater and put up with her being all bed rest and, you know, dissected and miserable and in serious pain, in excruciating pain. And I was like, if I'm going to give a spot to the household, I got to give it to Blind Cat. So, so Blind Cat, you have a Super Bowl square. I didn't know she was coming. She's live. I just saw here, but no sound. Oh, it's even better. So it happened, but she doesn't know how it happened, and that makes for a really good VOD later. So you got one. Thanks, Kate, even though you can't hear me. Oh, goodness gracious. Ugh. So, Blind Cat, have you decided whether or not you're going to be coming for the Super Bowl next week? It's not funny if I can't hear it. Oh yeah, it is. Actually, it's even more funny if you can't hear it. Ha 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 ha. She can hear you laughing. Yes. That makes it even better. As my uncle Pedro would say, I love it. Man, I love it. Oh, goodness gracious. So yeah, it's a chill Friday. I mean, There Will Be Blood, which was funsies. It does have these boxes that we usually sell for $100, which is why I made it 26 cents cheaper than it normally is, because I want to make it like you get a deal, even if it is only a postage stamp. We have to con someone to watch The Monsters. Now, I'm going to assume the monsters are animals? Or do you actually actively breed fugglers? Oh, kids! I don't know how many kids you have. I didn't know if you had adult kids, little kids, I don't know, imaginary children. I don't know. I don't try to dig into the lives of the artists too much. But once we hang out and we're friends, oh, then I'll dig into the dirt. By the way, Blind Cat, do you like tequila? Because you're not going to have fun unless you like tequila. Oh, the fear. So, this has been a bit of a tradition. And Doug loves this tradition. So, Doug, if you don't know, really likes the finer things in life, and he should. He deserves it. And one of those finer things that he likes is collecting, not necessarily drinking. Um, what's up, Shadows of Water? Good to see you again. and he will occasionally have a little nip of tequila. He's not a big drinker by any stretch of the imagination. I've never seen him drink ever, and I've known him for years. And T-Bone will attest to this too. He's not a drinker, but he likes to collect really ultra high-end and limited production tequila. Because if you know anything about the liquor business, tequila has the coolest bottles, and oftentimes higher end tequilas are all handmade bottles, which make them awesome. So yeah. Oh, it's all good, man. Did you show what's in the There Will Be Blood? It's actually listed in the description, but I will tell you there's 2 of these in there, which should make everybody want to get in to the suite. But every year that we've held the Super Bowl party at Doug's house, just talking to Poo Poo? Okay. So Doug's wife's name is Hannah. Awesome woman. Awesome. I love Hannah. She is from another country. She is from Denmark. And because she's from Denmark, she has a very stoic, laissez-faire attitude. Even I know laissez-faire is French. I know. So when we are over there and Mrs. the Breaker, I, and Lee Cozy's wife, Maria, we're admiring tequila. She's like, well, let's do some shots. Now, I'm not one to ever say no to tequila. I love tequila. Tequila is right up there with scotch for me. It's above bourbon, vodka, gin, all of those. It's literally scotch, and then just here is tequila. Just here. Bourbon and vodka are down here. This is scotch and tequila. I love the complexity of tequila. Tequila, by the way, it's also better for you. No alcohol is good for you. But tequila is better for you than any of the other ones because it has at least amounts of processing in it, and it's usually 100% natural, where other ones have derivatives in them. But tequila is the best thing for you. Believe it or not, if you stay properly hydrated, you're less likely to get a hangover from tequila than any other booze. Tequila is a nickname for it. It doesn't faze me. So she's like, let's have some shots. So she's like opening like this is some decent bottles, and we're doing shots. And then as the night progresses, she starts opening sealed bottles of tequila, and we're draining them by the half bottle. And Doug's like, please don't drink that one. Like, he'll pull a bottle, like, don't touch that bottle. And she'll be like, this one right here? Thank you. And she'll open up. It's like a $500 bottle of tequila that he's had for like 3 years that was a gift. Doesn't matter. We're all drinking the finest tequila on the planet. So as the night progressed, she reached higher and higher up the shelf. By the end of the night, we were drinking stuff that was out of like handmade Adobe colanders, and it was just like, wow, like tequila that was so smooth that it drank like water. Like, it was just like, oh man, I'm never gonna have tequila this nice ever again in my entire life. So now the inside joke, and anytime we go there, I'd be dead. Yeah, Maria and I will cozy up to. We'll cozy up to Hannah. Go, hey Hannah, is it time for tequila yet? Can we get some shots? Let's get those shots. And it flows. Yeah. So if you've ever seen a video of me from his house, doing the live event of the Super Bowl squares, which we've done for the last 3 years. You will see the difference between quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4's videos. as I'm getting more and more tequila in me, and less care in me as well. So yeah, if you, it's awesome, and there's lots of food, lots of food. Oh, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's next weekend. We have two parties next weekend. I have a party tomorrow. I have two parties next weekend. February is shaping up to be a heavy month of alcohol for me. And while I do drink, I'm not a heavy drinker. I'm not a daily drinker. I'm not even a weekly drinker. I might have a drink every couple of weeks. I probably haven't been drunk in years. But this February is shaping up to be a good test for my liver. Just know, hey, listen, card slaps. One thing you don't know about me is I pretty much tell the truth all the time. I had quite a few traumatic brain injuries, and my memory sucks. So it's just easier to tell the truth, so then I don't have to remember any of the lies. I would tell you if I was when I was running a nightclub in New York, I was an alcoholic. I was drinking more in a night than most people would drink in 2 weeks when I was running the nightclub. That was a problem for me. Luckily, I didn't have it to the point where I would get shakes or anything, and was able to wean myself down when I started my new career. This is not bragging because this is embarrassing, but I'm going to share this embarrassing story. I'm not lying to you. This was a typical night at my nightclub for me. So I would drink something called a candied Corona. You take a Corona bottle, you drink out the neck of it. Just tip back to the neck is clear. Then you pour in a shot of Bacardi Limon, and then you top it off with grenadine. I would have about 4 or 5 of those every night. I would also go through about 25% of a bottle of Crown in the form of shots in between the candy Coronas. That's not to mention whatever shot was put in front of me because I was the manager and people wanted to buy me a drinks. Listen, on my son's life, I'm telling you the truth. My son's right over there. I had a drinking problem because it was free and I could drink it top shelf if I wanted to. Getting drunk just listening to it, yeah. I invented a drink called the Charlie Sheen. Kind of tells you how long ago this was. It was Crown, Red Bull, pomegranate liqueur, cherries soaked in, we would take a tub and we'd fill it with a bottle of Crown, and then we'd put 2 jars of maraschino cherries in there, the big jars, and we'd soak them overnight in the fridge. Thanks, man. Very comfy tracksuit. And we would then drop two of those in the bottom of the drink, and then we would sugar the rim. So it was about 2 ounces of Crown, an ounce of pomegranate liqueur, about 4 ounces of Red Bull, and then 2 heavily soaked booze cherries. I would drink 2-3 of those a night. Indestructible. That's right. My early 30s. I'm 44 now. I got heartburn just thinking about what I used to be. And that was every night. We were open 6 nights a week. So it was, I after 3 years of that job, I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm like, I turned to the owner. He was from France. I turned to Tony and I said, Tony, I'm gonna die. I'm letting you know I'm searching for work. I love you, but I'm going to die. And he looks me square in the eyes and goes, you know, I wanted to mention to you, you may be going a little hard, friend. Or actually, the way he said it, you know, my friend, I would like to mention, I was going to say you are going a wee bit too hard and you should tone it down a little bit. But if you need to go for your health, I understand. Somebody will come and take your place, but you are always welcome here at my table. And anything you need, just let me know and I will get it done for you. If you need a letter or if you need anything, you let me know. But I love you. I love you. Take care. Be safe and keep me posted. What up, Hellbolt? A little Irish mob vibe. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. But yeah, man, that's Buffalo, New York for you. And then I quit, and then I went into the insurance business for 8 years. And didn't drink nearly as much. What's going on, Chris? Hey, Crystal. Speaking of booze, hey, Crystal. Hello, Juan. What's up, baby? And the dogs. Orf, orf. Roof, roof. Crystal, I want to know if you can get for a reasonable price a certain bottle of scotch. I'm going to mention it, and you're probably going to say either, oh, yeah, definitely, or, yeah, hell no, it's not going to happen. So they made an Islay Scotch, and it was a limited production. Hold on, I got to get the actual name. All right. I got to remember his name now. No, I don't want that. Okay. It's the Lagavulin 11-year Offerman. I've seen it around $100 for that. None of the places around me have it. They said they could order it, but they put a premium on ordering it. I'm just wondering if I can get it around what the online price is of about $100. Card Slap says, forgot to mention, I went to a Christmas party again. This time I snuck in the group photo. Ha! That's awesome. I love it. Good. You deserve it. Oh, I bet Adam loved that. I need someone to invite me. Oh, I know. And that's the thing. Yeah, Crystal, I know it's been out a while. And that's why it's so tough to get a hold of now. But my brother had a bottle and he just killed it. And he's like, dude, did you know about this? And I'm like, no. And he told me about it. He goes, it is not the best scotch he's ever had because he's drank Pappy Van Winkle. But he's like, it hits way above its price point. And it's an Islay, and I love Islay Scotch. I'm a huge Islay guy. Check the cord. Check the cord. Well, now. There it is. Is that is the one that I speak of. Is it as good as everyone says? There you go, Scoobs, level 1 prestige. Get it. Carlos and Chef, I literally posted it 20 minutes ago. So I don't know if anybody bought it yet. I don't even know if anybody even knew it was up until somebody mentioned it in the chat. I just sneaky popped it up there. I just needed a reason to get these, and I even figured we could take a $25 loss on one of those just to get people going. Really smoky? See, that's what I like. I like the fire-breathing dragon aspect of Islay Scotch. Islay heavily peats their Scotch, and that's what I enjoyed. Like the Ardbeg, Lagavulin, regular, the Lefroy is one of my favorites. I love Lefroy. So I figured if I like Lagavulin 16 and I like Lefroy and I like Ardbeg, a charred oak cask is right up my alley. It's a 5-spot, so it's a little smaller, chef. Not that crazy. I'm just trying to keep it around 100. I appreciate it. Just let me know whenever. What up, Jimmy Bean?
Daddy?
Yes, Papi Chulo.
Let me tell you something.
¿Qué pasó?
So, I want to do a battle with Adriel, because I made these stars. So, this wood, boom. And I have someone familiar. I have actually a lot of familiar cards, but we'll get to that later. But Charizard. Who does Charizard hate?
Pikachu.
No. Who does he not like? Who does he battle?
Mewtwo.
And he's a star.
Oh, you got a Mewtwo.
He's a star.
There you go.
He's a star.
Yeah.
Did we get to show that?
Buddy, we're not talking about Pokemon cards right now.
Hold on. All right, guys.
So next Thursday? That's fine. Thank you. Take your time.
Here we go, guys. We have the pack that would be showing off. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Jimmy Bean.
On David Kasachi, here we go. Mewtwo, no one cares. Charizard, no one cares. No care. Oh my God! Oh my God! The greatest pick of my life! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! We completed the whole set. Give me $1,000, please, and give me a Fuggler right now.
Hey.
Love you, bye.
Love you too. Okay. Food I've eaten. Animal-wise. This is definitely an incomplete list, but as weak as my memory is, I have it. Agave worm. You may know it as tequila worm. That's a misnomer. No tequila has a worm in it. The worm is found in mezcal, and mezcal, they used to put the worm in to determine the proof, the approximate proof, depend on how long the worm would stay alive at the bottom of the bottle. Was there a relative proof number? Bison, if you were in the Navy, you ate bison. Bluegill, yes, we were poor once and hungry and went fishing and were eating bluegill because that's what we caught. Boar, camel. Camel is muy delicioso. Cat, yes, I've eaten cat. Now, I haven't actually gone out and said, hey, I want to eat a cat because I'm a cat lover. But there was a Chinese food place that I used to go to in Orchard Park where I grew up. I love tequila, Crystal. I love tequila. And I'd eaten there multiple times, at least once a month, because they had a great buffet, and they got busted about 2 or 3 years into them being open for serving cats, dogs, and deer. Crystal, I am an equal opportunity employer. I don't necessarily need añejo. I like Blanco. I like Reposado. I like Don Julio. Patron is good. I think Don Julio is better. Tres Generations. I can't say that wrong. Feet. You goofball. Hey, what's up, man? Because I gotta work, honey. I gotta work. Okay, you're a goof. But I'm an equal opportunity employer when it comes to the tequila. So the restaurant got busted for not only roadkill, but cats and dogs. So there's no doubt I ate cats and dogs. Catfish, pecan encrusted chicken, clams, cockroaches. Folks, I am going to tell you something that is going to change your life. What up, Don? Got in trouble for luring ducks into the canal. That's right. Hey, they do it. It's the stereotypes are based on reality. Ladies and gentlemen, if you drink coffee and you don't personally ground your beans, congratulations, you have drank cockroaches. There is, and you can Google this, there is such a high concentration of cockroaches in coffee beans that they ground matter that can be cockroach versus coffee. Cockroaches love coffee bean storages. So if you've ever had coffee and you didn't grind your own beans, know that you have 100% drank the leavings of a cockroach. It is such a problem that they've given the coffee companies a reasonable amount of cockroach that is allowed to be in their coffee. So there you go. Also, I was in the Navy. Cockroaches were all over all of our food. If you were in the Navy, you've eaten a cockroach too. Cod, cow, crab, crayfish, crickets. I had crickets last month. I went to the La Brea Tar Pits and had cheddar bacon crickets. Crocodile, deer, dog, thank you, Chinese food. Duck, eel, sushi. Elk, emu. Well, exactly, chef. Listen, it makes me want to have another cup. Flounder, frogs. I will eat frog legs if they're put in front of me. Doesn't bother me. Gator tail is delicious with a nice remoulade. Chef, you get it, you know. Problem with gator is if you cook it too long, it gets really rubbery. So gator is a very fickle thing to cook. Goats and grasshoppers. Grasshoppers I've also eaten via fried grasshopper. Horse is a big thing in the Middle East. Sometimes your shawarma is going to be horse, depending on where you are. I was told it was horse, and it made me want to buy 4 or 5 more. Anytime I can eat the thing that killed Superman, it makes me feel powerful. Fun fact, critters don't live long on a submarine. Yeah, I was on an aircraft carrier. We had everything. We had spiders the size of my hands coming in from Brazil. It was crazy. Which one did I enjoy more, cat or dog? Probably the same. Kangaroo, disgusting, very gamey, tasting, tough, not good. Lamb, lobster, mackerel, mahi-mahi, dolphin. Moose, also very greasy meat moose. Mussels, octopus, ostrich was disgusting. Gross. Now, I heard their eggs are delicious for omelets. One ostrich egg can make like 4 omelets. But ostrich was very tough, very non-delicious. Oysters, pigs, prawns. Paul Maitland will tell you, if you lived in England, you've had a steady diet of prawns. Rabbit in the form of stew. Red snapper. Yes, I've had reindeer. Salmon, scallops, sea urchin. Sea bass, shark. Specifically the fins and the actual meat. Shrimp, snakes. I have eaten rattlesnake. Squids, stingrays. Now, you may not know this, because I didn't know this at first. But scallops, if they are called sea scallops, they are not necessarily real scallops. Sea scallops can refer to stingray fins that have been punched with a circular punch to create what looks like a scallop. Imitation scallops oftentimes are actually stingray. Again, Google this, folks. I say nothing that isn't true when it comes to this list. Tilapia, those bottom-feeding mouth breeders. Trout, tuna, turkey, whitefish, and yellowfish. That is 58 different species. Now, I didn't go through the entire chain of all of the sushis I have eaten. But I have eaten many different times. I mean, halibut, I know I've eaten, that's not on this list. It would be a extremely long list if I put all the different types of fish in there. So I just went through a handful of them. But there it is, writing it down. I'll even put halibut in there now. Writing it down, it is impressive the breadth of animals we eat as humans. Hey, look, it's squares. Oh, look at this. Hey, where's Blind Cat? There you go, Blind Cat. I told you. I wasn't lying. Hellbolt, of course you got a square. Of course you got a square. I have 2 squares because I actually bought 2 things this month, and gosh darn it, I'm taking my squares because the goodies here are good. So there you go. If you see your name on here, it means you made a purchase. Every single person who made a purchase made a qualifying purchase. I want you to know. It turned out to be roughly $75 per spot. I rounded up for most people. I rounded down for myself. Hellbolt and Blind Cat were both gifts, courtesy of Uncle Doug. And then we have 20 more spots that we will fill. Those spots, every single spot in There Will Be Blood today is also a Super Bowl square. Each spot is a Super Bowl square. In addition, every single Remarque-able spot is also a Super Bowl square. And we will be giving away other Super Bowl squares as well. For instance, if you would like, when it's done, absolutely, Chef, just like I did last 2 years. This is just the template before I random all of the names. As a matter of fact, speaking of giveaways, if you would be interested in getting a free Super Bowl square right now offered to the 14 of you, type in Super Bowl in the chat, and we will do a giveaway right now for an additional square. So those who are loyal are now in for another. Chef, I love it. Kyle, what's up, man? You're in, buddy. Crystal, I can't name everything Crystal, so Juan's getting this one. Super Bowl in the chat. I should give you an extra one just for that. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, last chance. Craig, there you are. Good job, Craig. You're in. Let's see if there's any more humans in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 humans. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means 3 people have elected not to be in on it. So there we go. Last call. Type in Super Bowl if you want a free square. Otherwise, I'm going to random it right now. 5, 4, 3. Ice Wolf, look at you, homie. There he is. All right, I'll start the countdown again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. Whoever's on top after 7 clicks is going to get their spot. Ice Wolf, look at you jumping in late, getting the bonus spot. Did I not? That's 1, 2, 3. No, you. Yeah, you get another one, Scoops.
Oh, you just got dangled.
There it is. Pat Riley gets 5% of all sales with any variation of the word three-peat in it. Oh my. So there you go. The other 18 squares are going to be for the items that remain, in there. Now, speaking of There Will Be Blood. Ooh, excuse me again. The carbonated water's really giving me the goods. Prue is already in on There Will Be Blood. I just realized for some reason I don't have a There Will Be Blood ready in my docs. So let me put that together real quick. Boop. That. All right. Only 5 spots. One of them's already gone. So, howdy do. I'm just listing the items in here while we get down to it. Remarque-able, by the way, is number 4 if anybody cares about numbers. One of them is a 2-part combo, 1800 and Bellissimo. What did I say the other one was? Oh, yeah. Multisport. There you go. What you doing, Poppy? Are you good? Jimmy Bean? What are you doing? Are you bored? Come here, honey. Come here. Get up. Are you bored? Why don't you go on your tablet? You got so much to do on your tablet.
Like videos?
Videos, play your game, do anything, honey.
Okay.
Don't you have Fortnite on your tablet? No?
No.
Okay.
But I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine.
Look what I found.
Nice. Here, this is yours. Oh. You're adorable.
Daddy, what is this?
That is a... Oh, so it sticks to something, so something must be a mount.
What's a mount?
I don't know. Looks like a little tiny mirror.
Oh my god, yes. What's a mount?
Well, it's sticky so that you would, like, stick it onto something and then you can use it as a mirror.
Oh, yes.
Hey, you forgot Frankenstein. Okay. You almost put that in the garbage, kid. All right. Now that looks good. Why'd you take that off? It was to protect it. It's not going to go back on now, baby. Get out of here.
Look at us, chat. We got them slight with the DMs. We got them slight with the DMs. Today, I still love you.
Go. I know, Bubba. Gotta work, honey. Close that. There you go. Now we are up to date. Now I have everything ready. So now y'all can make your trades and figure out how it's going to work. Yeah, for those who didn't see the trade today, another good trade of Kate's. I will announce it on air right now. Carlos is getting Marvin. In return, Councilman Chef is getting the 101 Katie art print, a Carlos original, and the Jeffrey Brown Batman. Hey now. Hey now. As a matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do it now so I don't have to do it later. All right. Next week. So next week, there's a couple of things that might happen. So we have two projects that could be launched next week. We won't know until Tuesday which one we have selected to launch on Wednesday. Both of them are ready. We just haven't decided which one we think is going to work the best for next week. So there is another project coming up. There is one that is totally tubular, and there is one that is, I mean, I would definitely sign off on it. Those are the only hints I could give. So does anybody have any plans this weekend? I will be heading into North Hollywood and going to a little bar that a few movies have been shot in to have some drinks with friends. Oh, that's nice of you, Chef. You're a good dude, Chef. Never mind what all those people say about you. You're good in my book. Ooh, Kyle's going ice. Oh man, I've gone ice fishing. When Lake Erie used to freeze over, Lake Erie has not been freezing over lately. So I don't know what your views on global warming are, but Lake Erie has decided not to freeze as early as it used to, and in a few of the last winters hasn't frozen at all, which has never happened in 100 years. Um, we used to go in the 80s. We used to go ice fishing on Lake Erie, and we would have a hut. We had a mini heater in the hut, and we would just sit out on the ice, eat beef jerky and combos, and I would drink squirt. And we would just drop our lines in the little hole, and that was some really fond memories. Big walleyes. There's sturgeon where we were. Lake Erie has sturgeon, and they were not. They didn't bite often, and typically, if they did, you'd have to cut the line because you were not pulling a sturgeon up, no matter how big the ice hole you have is. And you were not, I mean, our ice holes were maybe this big. They were not big enough to pull a sturgeon. But yeah, we very rarely caught anything. It was all about the experience. I personally think, because my dad didn't know what he was doing, bless him. We were creek fishers. We would fish in the creek. So we would go after rainbow trout, bass, brook trout, brown trout. Occasionally we get a salmon run that's pretty good in Buffalo, believe it or not. And so we were used to creek fishing. I don't believe our hooks were deep enough for ice fishing because you really have to dredge the bottom. They're hanging out at the bottom where the water is still temperate. Caught a 69-incher on the St. Croix. Wow. Yeah, I've never caught anything that big. Sturgeon fishing is almost as fun as shark fishing. I've gone deep sea fishing. Yeah. Believe it or not, red snappers and groupers give you a hell of a fight. Carlos says overnight at the casino with the wife, spending the night with grandpa and grandma. There you go. That's a good time. Carlos is going to be walking funny on Sunday. Did you see the video of the sturgeon that tried eating the mermaid's head? I haven't seen it yet, but I have seen the thumbnail, and I heard about a sturgeon attack. For those who don't know, sturgeon are prehistoric fish that have thick, bony scale plates on their back that can grow like 10, 15 feet and are like a barrel in width. They are extremely powerful, and for a very long time were thought to be extinct in the Great Lakes area. Well, the eastern Great Lakes in Lake Erie and such. And then in the middle of like late 80s, a guy found a dying sturgeon when the lake overflowed in a culvert next to a road, which led scientists to start probing Lake Erie's depths and find out that there is actually a returning sturgeon population. The fish was 100 years old that you caught. Holy goodness. Wow. Around for the Taft administration. So sturgeon then had a huge rebound, and are now pretty common out there. Like a sturgeon it's caught for the very first time. Sturgeon are terrifying if you don't expect them, and you are kayaking, and one of them decides to surface to check you out. You would swear a gator is coming up at you because they are. I'll show you. I'll actually Google Lake Erie sturgeon too, so you can see that I'm talking truths. These little guys. these little guys. These tiny, tiny little characters here. These are the Lake Erie sturgeon. They only eat dead bait. That's Cayuga River. That feeds into Lake Erie. As you can see, they are called, just like I said, living fossils. They've been around forever. It's a big boy. Yeah. And they have these bony plates on the back. The baby. So yeah, that's it. Caught yours in front of the power plant discharge. That's probably warmer water. Probably basking in the warm glow. But yeah, if you're kayaking and they decide to surface, they're big, they're heavy, and they are very intimidating if you're not expecting them. Now, typically you can step and go like, "Oh my god!" and they, "Oh, geez, sturgeon. Okay, not gonna die." But they're big boys. We would see them. So I would hang out in 18 Mile Creek. And 18 Mile Creek is a hot fossil bed. And there is an old, like, I don't know if it was a lighthouse or if it was like a boating house, but there's one just south of the mouth of 18 Mile Creek where or I should say the delta, where it, and I will be doing a little fossil hunting and sightseeing while I'm there. Did we lose the stream? Chef says we lost the stream. Is that true? I don't have, my alarm didn't go off. No sound? So did we lose the stream or did we just lose the sound? Both. Lost the stream and sound. Well, that's not good. That means it's working on YouTube, but not Twitch. Oh no, Money Mitch is here. Let's end the stream.